everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Debt Collection 101 here on Our By You. So today we are joined by Bethany Robertson and Kimberly Atwell of Debt Recovery Solutions of Ohio, and they're going to be sharing with us how they implemented collector development and mental health resources for their agents. And I'm also joined by Arbite's Manager of HR and Administration, Candace Burrows. So thank you everyone so much for being here today.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So Bethany and Kimberly, if you would like to start off just telling us a little bit about yourselves and your agency.
Okay. I am currently the Vice President at Debt Recovery Solutions of Ohio, a co-partner with Kathleen Shambre. She's the president. We started the business in 2002 in the basement of our home with 4 employees, and we currently have a team of 19. And we debt collections across the board, but we specialize in medical debt.
Awesome, thanks. And Kimberly, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself before we get
Absolutely. I have been with DRS since 2008. I started out as a collector and a skip tracer. Moved over to the administration side in 2010, and I'm now the client care manager. And like what Bethany said, she went into business with Kathy, and they've had this baby rolling since 2002. And last year, they purchased a great brand new building for us and had it renovated, and we moved in here. And last October, we haven't looked back. And with the growth in space that the building provided to us, it also allowed us to grow with our staff, and our collections have grown as well. So it's been a pretty good year despite what's happened this year, but for us, it's been pretty good.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so if I can ask, what did you observe happening at your agency that led you to seek out professional development programs and mental health resources for your agents?
The first thing that I observed was the anxiety, the uncertainty, the fear, and the doubts just across the board when COVID came out. Obviously, as the vice president, I had a lot of uncertainties and doubts. I couldn't provide answers for our employees, and it broke my heart. I wasn't able to provide any certainty. And it was literally a day by day. The collection industry was impacted differently across the nation. Some states, they had to cease all collection activity. We had one client that asked us not to make any outbound phone calls. So it was just the day to day of, oh my goodness, are we going to even be able to be in operation? And once we crossed some major hurdles of, okay, this is what Ohio stance is. We had, like I said, one client that asked us to stop making phone calls, which that was okay. We were able to transition our employees home safely, rather seamlessly. But there were still a lot of the unknowns and what to do with that. But with that said, I also saw a great opportunity with COVID, and it was a great time to deep dive into our company, into our procedures, how we've always done business, where is the future of Wellness Country going, our industry going, working from home. And so I personally was able to see a lot of good that could come from it, but I was not very good at communicating that to our employees and easing their uncertainty. And that's where kind of Kim and I worked together. If you want to pick up where I left off, Kim.
Yeah, what she kind of recognized was, and I was one of them that had the anxiety of I'm a planner, so I didn't know, I like to plan far out, and I couldn't even plan for next week, let alone, next month or next year. And Bethany saw that. She knew that like those uncertainties were out there for every one of us. But she chose to be honest and, share that uncertainty and the fear with the staff and kind of let us know that we're all in the same boat. And that kind of, you might think that that's going to like create fear in your employees, but it makes them realize that, yes, you are all in the same boat and we're trying to get through this together. And she was going to be here for us no matter what. So with that, showing them that, that she cared and that they were important to her and to Kathy as well. she knew that investing in that group of employees that we had, because it's a really good group and we didn't want to lose them. So she knew that investing in them, with those, like the morning meetings that we had, that was kind of the start of it. And it was a necessity because we were working from home. So it started out as a necessity, but it grew into something that is really just a part of what we do now. And even though people have transitioned back into the office, they love those morning meetings. They all get together. Everybody gets to voice, what concerns they have, what they're going to be doing for the day. And then they also take an individual approach, and, like the manager will meet with them individually, one-on-one, see if anything, if he needs to do anything for them. And it's just kind of grown from there. That morning meeting kind of grew into just a culture, here. So it's a huge boost. And then when she saw that Cardone University that she's implemented too, was available, that actually being implemented, showing that the company was investing in that for each of the individuals here, that makes them feel important, so, and that's been a big change for us.
That's awesome. And I remember, when COVID first hit us, we kind of went through the exact same transition, and having the transparency from leadership made a really big difference in everyone's, because like you said, everyone had the uncertainty. So it's all good to just kind of be on the same page and know what's going on. Can you just share a little bit about how this was rolled out logistically? Like when you first started the morning meetings, was that over video? And then also, how did your agents react to these changes? I know you said that they appreciated it, but at first, was there any kind of like learning curve, or did you kind of have to figure out how to format the meetings to be most effective?
Well, yes to all of those questions as you just answered. We attempted to roll it out logistically. We kind of took small bites to begin with. We started, I think, with FaceTime. We had, it was just me going around showing everyone, making sure everyone's able to say hi, see each other. The FaceTime, we're now on Zoom because we have a few employees that are home, but we just kind of piecemealed it in trial and error, really. But once we got the videos up and rolling, we all watched the same videos. Then we were able to discuss the content of the video. A lot of it had to do with attitude, commitment, your own personal growth. It really focused on your own mental health and the foundation of that plays into your success. So as far as the formatting of the meetings, those have also grown, because now I specifically address one specific department, and we have questions that they have to answer every morning. Like what should we keep in mind? What are we going to implement? How can we apply this and teach our new hires to bring them in to the culture that we're trying to develop, because it is new. We could all be working remote next week in our state. We don't know, but at least we have the foundation set, I believe. Policies and procedures are written for all of that, and we're just going to keep on plugging away. Kim experienced it a little bit more firsthand, so she can speak to that as well.
I did, and I really the group meetings that I wasn't a part of are mainly like for the collectors, and it's a hard job. It's not easy. And then being, throwing something else in the mix where now you're all working from home, and we have a very diverse group. We've got older people, younger people, and the younger ones, trying to get them onto Zoom was easy. The older ones, there were some kinks that got worked out, and everybody did a great job with that. I know some of them that are still, they're working from home right now. They'll be back, but they're getting it. They're getting the hang of it, and everybody's finding out that they're capable of more than they thought they were. And that's important. We do have our collections manager. He has games weekly and daily for different things to just kind of boost how things are going, and the energy down there is great. So yeah, even that, little things like that. With the games, they'll pair up seasoned collectors with newer employees. And, so it's not so much a competition, it's more of a team. type thing. And that's what we're trying to build, is a great team. And we've got a good foundation for that here. So.
Great. Yeah, I know you mentioned it was kind of like trial and error. I think a lot of people experienced that because it was so new to everyone. So I think as time went on, everyone kind of perfected their own ways that worked for them. I think the format of everything changed for everyone since the beginning so much. And even weekly, it's still changing because new things are coming up, new ideas and everything. So yeah, that's great.
And I think it's important to evolve, your company and your culture evolve with the times, with your employees, be sensitive to what they're feeling, how they're feeling, and be very open and honest about it. I mean, we all shared tears together. We shared anger together. One person may be okay one day and another person's freaking out the same day, but we try to create a very open culture that, look, it's okay to be not okay. To be honest, we're all in it together. And as long as we keep those lines of communication open and we're sensitive to where we're at on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, then so far it's been great.
Great. With all these changes, what have you seen in your agency overall and your agents individually since that these resources have become available?
The best thing is I get here, I'm an early bird and I'm here by 7, the latest. I have employees coming in at 10 after 7, 7:15. People are coming in and they are ready to work by 7:45. A year ago, we were lucky if we got them in their seats by 8:05. They're still getting their coffee, they're chatting, and there's a really neat energy. Not to mention the growth that we've received overall, like just on our bottom line collections, we're at like a 9.5% growth from last year. Our collection department has increased their collections, where the legal department, they've been faltering because of the COVID mandates on court systems. So it's really neat to see the tide turn and how we're really complementing each other and working together. And where the legal may be down, our collection department has picked it up. And there's just a general overall enthusiasm for what's to come. Even in the uncertainty, we have a lot of plans, and we keep trying to roll out and communicate that vision.
Yeah, mainly what I've seen is, for the difference from like 2 years ago to now, just in the last 6 months, we're a collection agency. It's not the easiest job in the world, and people come in here and they don't hate being here. They come in and they want to be here and they're happy to be here and they enjoy their time here. So they show up early. So yeah, that's really the biggest thing. The switch in attitude has been enormous.
They're actually excited to grow personally and professionally. And that's something that we keep focusing on. It's the investment was made individually as people first and foremost. And then that will only bleed into the professional realm of it as well. And we have some young ones that have come on board and they're excited to learn. They don't even know what collections is about, but we're already talking about advocacy in the area, our younger ones going to the high schools and teaching about financial literacy to high school students, because some of them are out of high school, 4 or 5 years, and they weren't taught that. They didn't even know what collections, what it means. They're telling their friends that they work at a collection agency. Their friends have no idea what industry that is even in. So that's probably the biggest thing, is we're excited. The employees are excited to grow as human beings too.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a really engaged team, and I know that's makes a huge difference in overall operation. But actually, hopefully this doesn't catch you off guard, but I remember you saying that you saw a lot of overlap between the sales and collections, like fields and professions. Can you just talk a little bit about like what kind of skills your collectors are learning from the Cardone University courses specifically?
The big one is attitude, and just your mental attitude. Communication skills is huge. How you present yourself, tone of voice. And I know that the training that they've received, we focused on this, but the Cardone University kind of gives a different perspective, because you really are selling. You're selling your service. You're selling the service that they've already received. All they hear 90% objections and stalls. And basically it's teaching them how to approach those, accept them, acknowledge what the other person is hearing or what they're saying, and accept it with a positive attitude. Still try to overcome it. There's still negotiation. It's not like we're letting them off the hook, but I think it's broadened their view of the consumers on the other end. It's not just about what they're collecting anymore. We continue to make that clear. It's like you are speaking to another human being that has a very real situation that they're facing, and it's trying to weed and pick apart what actually the consumer is saying and being tuned to that.
That's awesome.
Kim, do you have anything to add?
I really enjoyed the Cardone University training. You know, and I'm kind of over in like the client side of it, you know, with marketing and that type of thing. But I definitely saw how it could be beneficial to our collectors 100%. What they do is sales. Like Bethany said, they're selling the consumer on the service that they were provided. They're selling the consumer on, you know, all of these things. And we really try to help people. You know, it's rewarding to our collectors when they find a way for somebody who hasn't thought that they could pay a bill to end up getting that, you know, taken care of and getting that burden off their back. And they're really finding a lot of rewards in that.
Yes,
So.
they are.
Great. Okay. And so what advice would you give to an agency who is hesitant to make this kind of an investment in their agent's professional development and mental health?
Don't hesitate.
Go for it. Just go for it.
Yep. It's worth every penny that we pay. It really is. It's a great selling point when we are interviewing for new hires too. It's like we care about who you are as a person, and we're willing to invest in you when first day that you step on board.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like there's a really direct correlation between what you've seen in your agents and when you started this, which is remarkable considering the year that we've had. So that's awesome. Well, thank you both so much for coming on and sharing this really positive experience with us. And thank you for being such a positive example for the industry too. It's really awesome what you guys are doing for your agents.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
But yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us.
All
Yeah,
right.
of course. All right. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks for listening. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.